Welcome to Building Futures, the podcast where we explore how design, architecture, and human stories shape the homes and the lives of tomorrow. Today, we're talking about one of the most important decisions you'll make when building your home, choosing the right architect and builder. Because beyond drawings and materials, the people you choose will define your entire experience and the kind of home you end up with. Joining me is Khaled Khadra, founder and principal architect at Kalgreens Architects. Khaled, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Very happy to be here.
Let's start with something simple but fundamental. What makes a custom home different from any other home?
A custom home begins with the person, not the plan. It's built around how you live, your routines, your memories, your pace. When we design, we're creating an atmosphere that reflects who you are. Every choice, light, texture, materials, comes from listening deeply to the client.
So choosing the right architect really means choosing someone who understands you, not just your style.
Exactly. The best architecture doesn't start with a sketch. It starts with understanding and consideration.
For many people, choosing an architect can feel overwhelming. There are portfolios, fees, timelines. Where should someone start?
Start with chemistry. You need to feel that you can be honest with your architect. Ask how they work, how they handle challenges, and how much involvement they'll have during construction. The right architect will invite you into the process. They'll listen, they'll question, and they'll translate your thoughts into something that feels authentic, not generic. You will know they are asking the right questions when they ask them.
That's such a beautiful way to put it. That architecture should translate who you are.
Yes, the drawings are just the language. The story is yours, but you still have to do some legwork. Here are a few things to look for before contacting the architect. First, find them online, make sure they have a positive online presence, check their reviews, and make sure you find someone with a good positive rating. Not necessarily a 5-star rating, but a rating close to 4.5 out of 5. Make sure that they have a good number of reviews. So 1 to 10 reviews might be too little. Seeing one negative review shouldn't make you look the other way. Check how that architect responded to the negative review and see if they handled it well and whether it was a legitimate review. Then look into the positive reviews to make sure they are authentic and not paid for reviews. One way of doing that is to check the profile of each of the reviewers and see how many other reviews they made to other entities and on which regions. So if you find that the majority of 5-star reviews are made by individuals that only reviewed this business, then this is suspicious. Whereas when most of the reviewers have reviewed other businesses in the same region, then that makes them more legit. This would be a good point to start from. Then when you talk to your potential architect, ask them for references. I notice a lot of customers are shy to ask for that. A good architect would be delighted to share references of previous clients with you and share their contacts. Ask to see work samples. Even if they have samples on their website, ask them for something that is aligned with what you are looking for and see how proactive they are. For example, say you wish to build a fourplex in a neighborhood in Toronto. You would ask, I looked at your portfolio and you have some nice buildings, but as I am looking to build a modern style fourplex, do you have something similar to that you have designed recently? Can you share something with me? This question in itself, even if they tell you that we have not worked on a fourplex with a modern design recently, will help you in understanding their attitude toward work. If they respond by, say, just go to my website, I have all samples there, this is a red flag. Whereas if they say, yes, we have some samples online, but let me send you an email after this call to share some specific samples that more align with your vision, then that's a green flag. Another way of knowing that your potential architect will work hard for you is if they have done some research about your project and possibly about you before the interview. If the architect starts showing you that they have checked the zoning on your property and identified the parameters, community impact, typical architectural style in the neighborhood, that's a definite green flag. Ask around and call their references and ask about the experience and how their previous clients see them in terms of fairness in pricing, attentiveness to responding to inquiries, and creativity. Ask the references about a challenge that their architect had resolved for them. I noticed that the majority of customers calling us for the first time are more focused on the cost, which is a totally fair approach. However, price and cost are just one of the factors, and you might find that a good reputed architect adds more value to you by hiring the most affordable one. So be prepared to have that conversation. One more thing, check their credentials. Make sure to differentiate between a licensed architect, an architectural designer or technician, and an engineer. I notice that a lot of people don't know the difference between those. Although a designer, an engineer, and an architect can all design a home for you, each one has a certain skill set. An architect typically is the most equipped person to design spaces, whether they are commercial or residential. You can visit their association's page or self-regulatory entity, like the Ontario Association of Architects or the AIA, the American Institute of Architects, and make sure they are in their registered or licensed architects directory. If you end up hiring a good architect, you will end up saving time, construction cost, and money.
Very well, that's insightful. Let's switch gears and talk about selecting the right builder. Once the design is ready, it's time to bring that vision to life, and that's where the builder comes in. How do you know you're choosing the right one?
A good builder is like a conductor. They manage budgets, timelines, trades, and they make sure the design's integrity survives reality. Look for experience with similar projects, strong communication, and clarity in their contracts. Also, pay attention to how they talk about challenges. If they avoid them, that's not a good sign. You want someone who's realistic, transparent, and calm under pressure. I suggest following the same process I suggested for finding your ideal architect. Find references, check projects, check their online presence and reviews, and always make sure that you have chemistry. You will be dealing with this individual or individuals for a few months, and they will be handling your hard-earned money, so make sure they are trustworthy and easy to communicate with.
So, the builder's role is not just technical, it's emotional too.
Absolutely. They're the ones bringing your dream into the physical world. That requires precision, but also care. Now, an advice I give to all my clients: when you are about to retain a contractor, a project manager, or a trade, make sure they are using proper contract documents. In Canada, we have the CCDC, the Canadian Construction Document Committee, which issues and updates standard construction contract documents. Those templates protect the interest of all parties. In the US, the AIA issues similar templates. If your contractor or builder is presenting a 3-page contract for a project that will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, know that that's a red flag. If a contractor refuses to use a proper contract document or something that your lawyer might prepare, then you should not work with them in most cases. One more thing, a lot of clients tend to look for general contractors that work with cash instead of documented payments, mostly to avoid paying taxes. Although it works out well for some people, I highly recommend against it. You need to track all payments made, and not paying taxes will come bite you in the back. I have personally received many calls from the revenue agency questioning the money spent on some of our projects. You don't want to deal with the IRS or the CRA when it comes to construction. And by using the proper methods for paying for your construction, you will be able to claim government rebates in many cases.
Now, one thing you talk about often is collaboration. What happens when the architect and builder truly work as a team?
That's when everything flows. When there's collaboration from the start, when both parties talk early about structure, cost, and design, we avoid tension later. We use three-dimensional modeling and real-time coordination tools so everyone, client, architect, and builder, sees the same thing. It turns the process into a conversation, not a chain of approvals.
So it's about alignment, everyone building toward the same vision.
Exactly. When that alignment exists, the client feels supported and the project becomes more than a build. It becomes an enjoyable, memorable experience.
If someone listening right now is thinking, I want to build my own home, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them before they start?
Start early. Don't wait for the perfect time or perfect idea. Just start the conversation. Talk to an architect, walk your land, share your thoughts. Because the earlier we connect, the more we can shape a home that feels truly yours.
You've been listening to Building Futures, brought to you by Kalgreens Architects, where every home begins with a feeling and every project becomes a legacy. To learn more, visit kalgreens.com or follow at Kalgreens on Instagram. I'm your host, and until next time, keep dreaming, keep designing, and keep building your future.